broadcasting legend in his own mind. He's known to be prickly and very opinionated. It's time to get in the huddle. Your host, Coach Muddle.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. And I just want to say, just in case, you're driving in the car or whatever, and you want to catch a previous episode, maybe of Captain singing his songs or whatever.
You'll never close your eyes anymore.
Hey, make sure you download the podcast anywhere you have podcasts. Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, any one of those platforms. Go ahead, download it, and you can check out any one of the episodes of In the Huddle with Coach Muddle.
Right. And you can always check Nevada Nick's great picks all the way back to calling the Raptors at 10-1, the Kentucky Derby, the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, all of it. Cam Newton being named starting quarterback of the Patriots as he was today.
I had that. I didn't put any money on it.
We're trying to figure out who it was because somebody said that they thought Stidham was still going to start. Maybe it was Billy then because, I mean, I don't think that's much of a call calling a former MVP to start over Jared Stidham, but, you know.
Anyway, as you see, Leonard Fournette didn't go very far. I heard he's renting the house next door to Captain down there in Tampa.
Sure. I'll go over and get his autograph as soon as I bump into him.
I think it's a good signing, though. It can't hurt. Tampa Bay needed a running back. I think he'll fall in line. I would hope. A lot of guys kind of, bow down to Brady knowing that, he's the GOAT. So, I guess him and Ronald Jones.
Who?
Ronald Jones. Oh, Brady. Your boy, your best friend, your favorite player.
Listen,
don't know him. Don't know him. Never heard of him.
Now, Nick, from what I'm hearing, when I put my ear to the ground coming out of Tampa Bay is, LaShawn McCoy might be the odd man out there now.
Yeah, because
there's a rookie, and I can't think of his name, but he is very much like the kid White from New England. And Brady loved him. They actually came out of Wisconsin too. So it's kind of that Brady and him are really getting some chemistry together. Right. And I kind of feel like I'm hearing that LaShawn McCoy is going to be the odd man out, especially now when you add Fournette to that mix.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I like LaShawn McCoy, but his better days are behind him. I mean, look, Andy Reid loved him, and when he couldn't even start, in the Super Bowl, I think that kind of that's why not didn't start, didn't even play. You're right, make the 53. So I'm not surprised there, but I think getting Fournette is a big deal. Some other big news too. They say the Sixers are finalizing a deal with Ty Lue, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Really, I thought I saw that it was Steve Nash.
He got the Nets job.
Oh, the Nets job.
Which,
okay.
Look, man, you got Kyrie, who's known as like a coach killer, and then Kevin Durant. I'm surprised they've gone with a guy. It's much like Captain said with baseball, how catchers become good managers. Usually point guards become good basketball coaches. Jason Kidd, others. But still, that's a lot of pressure to step into a job, and they're expected to compete for a title next year. So a little surprised about that. I don't know what style he's going to go with. Obviously, Coach mentioned last night about the Suns under D'Antoni. So Nash played under D'Antoni. He also played under Don Nelson with the Mavericks. So I'm curious to see what kind of, offense he runs. I don't even know if he's been an assistant coach somewhere. So
I have no idea. I haven't heard his name.
I didn't know he was coaching anywhere. So, man, usually you got to at least do a little assistant coaching.
Yeah, but wasn't Jason Kidd like that? Didn't Jason Kidd start right off the bat as a head coach?
Yeah, he went right into it without basically any previous major coaching experience. I think he might have done like some I don't want to say it was rec, but it was like It was unorganized, organized, and then he went into it. And to get back to what you were saying, Coach, I did check the roster for the Succaneers. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yeah, okay, I did. The Succaneers, they got a kid by the name of Kashawn Vaughn.
Yes, actually,
out of Vanderbilt.
Put that up.
Yeah. Oh, see, I was doing my due diligence, so I apologize for not seeing the comments. I figured that we would have, but there's another rookie on the roster as well, which one are you talking about? And this guy is the kid by the name of Calais.
Wisconsin. The kid from Wisconsin.
Okay, there's a kid by the name of Calais who's also a rookie, and he is out of Louisiana Lafayette, so that's not Wisconsin. So I don't know. It's either got to be Vaughn or Calais because I don't see any Wisconsins as running backs that are rookies on the roster as of right now for the Succaneers.
Okay.
All right, listen.
Yeah, we will bring that story.
We're going to get to that, but real quick, because I know we started off hot and heavy, but I wanted to really start with this, and it got a little sidetracked because Tom Seaver passed today.
Yeah, he did.
One of the all-time baseball greats, and I actually got to see him pitch. I was at his 300 win at Yankee Stadium.
Oh wow!
He pitched for the White Sox, got his 300 win at Yankee Stadium, and I just found that kind of ironic that here he is. He had that success with the Mets, and he comes back to New York to win his 300th, obviously in a different uniform and across town, but. And it's sad. I thought the Mets really shafted Seaver both as a player and then later in life. They waited till his illness got too bad to put up a statue and honor the man. So screw you, Will Ponce, because you're the worst owners ever.
Yep.
And thank God that you're selling the team. Get the fuck out of New York and go the hell back wherever you're from.
Yeah, I agree.
Because those guys are assholes.
Because you know what, Coach? The Mets didn't have, except for maybe like a Keith Hernandez, maybe they didn't have a lot of players that had long tenures there. You know what I mean? Seaver did. Darryl Strawberry kind of went and then fizzled out, had the drug issues.
Right.
Doc Gooden, same thing. So
Gary Carter was really an expo. He really wasn't a Met.
Lenny went to Philly.
Piazza.
Piazza left for the Marlins and the Dodgers, though, too. He didn't have a long.
He came from the Dodgers, I thought. Didn't he?
Right.
Come
he came from
the Dodgers?
No, he came from the Marlins. He went to the Dodgers, to the Marlins, then to the Mets.
Yeah, but Piazza was drafted by the Dodgers because of Lasorda.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but
look it up. He got traded at the trade deadline to the Marlins, and then he ended up going to the Mets. I'm almost 100% sure.
See, I thought he finished his career at the Marlins. He went.
No.
He went to the Marlins later after.
Yeah.
Look it up, Captain. I'm telling you, he was before the Mets. I'm almost positive, Captain.
Okay, while you guys.
Can I tell my story, Coach?
Go ahead. While we look this up.
So my first Eagles game is Redskins-Eagles in the wild card playoffs. So, obviously, it's the year the Bills ended up losing to the Giants in the Super Bowl. But so I go to my first Eagles game with my dad. I'm all excited. And we're at the vet, obviously. So we're sitting there in the seats. And all you hear is this guy behind us go, "What the fuck?" And we turn around and look. We look. The guy, there's piss coming off from the upper level. And they're pissing on the guy behind us. So that was my first experience at the vet, was the guy behind me getting pissed on in the seats. So it ended up being quite an experience for my first game at the vet.
And I got the answer when the story's done about being pissed on.
Yeah, that's the story. That's the story. The guy behind me.
Right. So you're into the golden showers, are you? No,
I'm not. It was the guy behind me. It was the guy behind me. But Captain, was I right?
Yes.
Yeah,
because I looked it up as well.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're
what you
right.
guys were doing, not listening to my story.
Well, I was doing a producer's
I know.
job of actually
Thank you,
looking.
Captain. Thank you.
Yeah, because again, I mean, I can handle being a producer while still being on the show, kind of like they do in real radio, and I don't mind doing that as well because I that's fun as long as I get my airtime too.
Yeah,
So that's
and
good.
regards to Nash
Good,
too.
because I can't really do 4 things at once. So
You can barely do one thing at once,
my
Coach.
plate.
Yeah, you can
I'm
barely
do one. You're right.
exactly. And Steve Nash had no experience as a coach.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's surprising to have a guy with no experience to now on a team that's expected to compete for a championship next year, which I don't think will happen because I don't like Kyrie, and I think Kevin Durant might be the biggest baby in the it was PP Tommy in the upper level. That's great.
Now, I will tell you this. A couple years ago, I did take my daughter to it was my daughter, my dad, my sister. The 4 of us went to a Jet Houston game up at the Meadowlands. I got the ticket, so I mean, I wasn't spending money to go see the Jets. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So anyway, I'm like, okay. My daughter, we go get something to eat. Well, the dude behind us winds up puking all over our seats. Literally, I don't even think we got to the line. Here's my sister freaking out, because it's right next to her. And, and that goes to show you horrible at the Meadowlands. They didn't even move us. They gave us such a hard time. We wound up leaving halfway through the second quarter because of that. Terrible.
That's fucked up. And I don't care. I don't care who you are, where you are. The fact is that the attendants didn't take care of their customer, especially when it's not your puke. Okay, that's just wrong in so many languages. That's wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, my cousin said he thought Kenny Atkinson. A lot of people feel like that in Philly. That's the former Nets coach.
Yes.
Who basically got fired by Durant and Kyrie Irving. Excuse me.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Now, going one second before we do that, going back to Nash going to the Nets, and you said that would a possibility for getting an NBA championship. That's one of the reasons why I think that they hired him without experience, because he's plug and play. As long as he brings some of his ideals and the way he was on the court as being a hard-nosed guy that can dish and dish and being able to dish in his brain for those plays. That's probably one of the reasons why, because you got Kyrie, you got KD, you got a good cast of other people. They say, well, you know what? As long as he can bring what he brought while he was on the court to us, we don't really need an established coach. I don't agree with that, but that's probably what the thinking was behind that.
They better bring on a strong assistant coach who's either had head coaching experience or just a well-respected assistant coach, because one thing Steve Nash wasn't known for was defense. And I believe in every sport, defense is important, obviously, as we go into the big game tonight, too, with the Flyers. I mean, that's how you win in hockey, too, is goaltending and defense. My cousin's Avalanche is still alive. They looked all but dead, down 3-1. Now that's 3-3. And obviously that's where hoping tonight happens to the Flyers is they can.
So here on the wire, I'm checking right now. So the Cowboys have released veteran safety Clinton Dix.
Wow, that's surprising. But now was he wasn't from the Packers, right?
Yeah. Well, he went from the Pack. He got released by the Packers. I think it was the Skins, and then he got picked up. His career is really plummeted, kind of like with the Raiders.
With the Packers.
Right, the Raiders picking up and then releasing Prince Amukamara. All of these defensive backs that are out there in free agency. Actually, the Raiders signed one, and then they got rid of him. It was a guy that was the former Giant that couldn't catch a cold, and he went to the Saints. And the Raiders picked him up, and he didn't even make the Raiders roster because of a contract thing. Then they went out and got the other former Giant, Prince Amukamara, and former Giant / Bear. So all of these older D-backs that are still out there, if you've lost a step or two, you better
you
find
go to the Raiders, is what you're saying.
No, no, like that. No, because
Well, listen,
we don't have you.
the Eagles
Bye-bye.
had cut 12 players, and I didn't realize that former Georgia running back Elijah Holyfield was on the Eagles roster.
I didn't realize that either. But it must have been obviously. I think he was played last year, so it must have been an undrafted
Really?
free agent. I would think. Yeah, I'm almost positive he was on.
Did he
Georgia
come
list.
out way too early? Was that the problem? Because I felt like he had a pretty decent season one year, and maybe just
Georgia.
because it was
I don't-
in a lot of games, but
I don't remember. My biggest worry with the Eagles is going to be the, obviously missing Malcolm Jenkins, who was really important in that defensive secondary. And I know they're moving Mills there, and Mills is very inconsistent. He'll be a Pro Bowler one game and then just look terrible the next. So we'll see what happens there. But obviously, Coach, we were talking about the Flyers. You had to bring up the freaking Cowboys, which I don't know why you transitioned from the Flyers to the Cowboys. But
I didn't know we were getting into the fly because we were in basketball and we were trying to get
Yeah.
back to football. I didn't hear the hockey. I apologize.
well, listen, that's your job, Coach. You're supposed to be the moderator, whatever the hell you call it. But so listen when your people are talking. Don't look in the sky at the birds.
I'm watching
now,
I'm
Captain,
watching this big dark cloud come over and block the sun, which is
Yeah.
thank goodness that sun was killing me for a few
What are you, a fucking weather reporter now, or are we going to talk sports?
No, he doesn't have the tits to be a weather reporter.
Yeah.
Now, Captain, have you heard anything on Cooch? Is he playing tonight?
Have not heard anything. It's probably one of those things, game time decisions type of thing. Lower body injury that we had from the game before, and I haven't heard anything about today's game other than it's at 7.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said, and the same goes for Barzell too, Captain. They are both, it looks like, game time decisions. So I guess we'll find out. They usually release that like a half an hour before game, or a little bit before the game time. So I think that's important. I'm really hoping Couturier suits up.
I me as well. Like I said, I think the Flyers will be in a lot better constraints with trying to get Game 6, having him available than not having him available. I think actually, and I hate saying this, but the way the Islanders have played as a team, okay, losing Barzell is not going to be that much of a hindrance to the Islanders. The way that they've been shooting, Pajot and a couple of those other top line players have played really great for the Islanders. Losing Couturier, who's been a good mucker for the Flyers this entire series with the occasional points and doing what he's done, both offensively and defensively, it's going to hurt the Flyers a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. But
I think that series wraps up tonight. I think the Islanders move on.
That's good.
And,
last time you said they're going to win the cup last game and they lost. So just keep saying it, Coach. Just keep saying it until Game 7. That's all we want.
That's
what we're hoping.
That's a bunch of haterade on the coach's part.
I'm sorry that I am from New York. The Islanders are from New York. And, I really don't like too much of Philadelphia, okay? If it isn't for Tony Luke's, I probably wouldn't go to that place.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, listen to Coach over here. Now, like my cousin said, so Avs are down 3-3. I honestly, too, though, if you're a hockey fan, I think you would rather see Tampa Bay, Philly, then Vegas and Colorado. Any type of hockey fan. I just think they're better matchups. I think the Flyers are a better team. I just don't think they play good hockey. I really don't. I don't think the Islanders are a better team than the Flyers. I just think that the Flyers' best players haven't played well until the last game. Right. So if we can get them to pick it up and have 2 good games here and play well, if they would make it into the conference finals, I think that would be a heck of a series. I agree with Captain. I would give the edge to Tampa Bay right now a little bit because they're playing good hockey. And, like my cousin said, the power play for the Flyers has just been horrendous for a while now.
Anemic.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It really is bad.
Yeah.
Kind of like wearing that FAU hat is, Coach.
What are you talking about?
Anemic,
he doesn't know where
really bad.
You have an FAU hat on, Coach.
I know I have an FAU hat on.
Oh.
FAU has been, Lane Kiffin has pumped life back into that program, and now they went out.
Where is he? And where is he now?
They went out and made a knee-jerk reaction. They hired the guy from Florida State who was horrible.
Willie Taggart? Oh, he was bad too.
And I don't think he's going to do very well at FAU. I don't think he's going to do that because I don't think that he was that good. He inherited a good team out in Oregon and won with that team, but could not do anything in Florida State when the cupboard was bare. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's like that's just a poor choice in hats when you're a Gator like me,
Mm-hmm.
Well, look, I normally support our local, Lewis Marina. Those guys down at the marina, take care of me, and so I wear that hat. And I was running a little late tonight, getting back home. So I had some stuff going on, so I didn't get a chance to switch hats. How about that? Okay.
Now, as
Mr.
I said,
Rogers, I come in, I got to change my hats like he changed his sweater.
I said out, in East, everybody would rather see Philly, Tampa Bay. As much out West, I think people would rather see Vegas and Colorado. Not that Dallas isn't a good team, but I think that's the better series too. And that'll be one prediction for tonight. I do think Vegas closes it out tonight. I believe they played in the second game. I think it's Vegas and the Canucks. But I do, no matter what, in Game 6, I think Vegas will close out the series and beat the Canucks. I'm not making a prediction in the Flyers game because I don't know how to feel. Yeah, it's a tough one. It really is. You just I really thought in Game 5 they were going to come out with a big effort. I'm a little concerned you're going to see that punch back tonight from the Islanders because I think they would obviously love to close it out tonight.
Yep.
Nobody wants to go to Game 7 because obviously Game 7, anything can happen. So obviously right now it's the best the Flyers can hope for. But, yeah, I think you're going to see New York's best punch tonight. So I'm hoping the Flyers respond well.
And I'm not wearing anything Lightning until the Flyers are officially out, okay? So you won't see my Lightning hat on here. You won't see my black Hedman jersey being worn until the Flyers are no longer in the series again. And it's one of those things where there's a big drop-off. Love my Flyers. Root for the Lightning over everybody else because there's that big drop off. I love my Flyers, but
I feel the same way from me being a Ranger fan to the Islanders. But obviously, the Islanders trump both Philadelphia and Tampa. So
yeah.
But you think if it comes down to that, you think the Islanders are going to beat Tampa if they even get there?
Yeah, I do. I believe that it's going to be a Vegas Islander final.
Well, one thing I would agree with Coach is the coach for the Islanders. What's it, Barry Trotz, is it?
Yeah.
He's a heck of a coach. He really is.
Look, I say this because I know there's a lot of Caps fans out there just screaming right now because I find it funny that you thought that, it was – players and not the coach who got you to that cup. And you thought you could just plug and play somebody else in there. And now you're watching a guy that you let go take another team. Yeah. Who
lets go a Stanley Cup winning coach? Lets him walk, And that was a team that
was not paying the guy. That was
that was a team too, but was knocking on the door all the time. And he really went in there and got him over the finish line. And then I think the problem was they didn't want to pay him. I mean, I think, and then he took more money at the Islanders, and look at where they're at already. I mean, just like with Philadelphia, I thought they made a horrible decision bringing in the coach. I'm drawing a blank on his name. Was it Hackstall? Dave Hackstall, I think it was.
Yeah. Because it was Hackstall and Hackstall.
North Dakota, yeah. So that didn't make sense, but, man, pronounce his name, Captain, for me, the coach for the Flyers. I can't pronounce it.
Alain Vigneault.
He has come in and just look. I didn't agree with the Carter Hart sitting him, but you can't complain about the job the guy's done since March. or even February when we got the team. He's turned this team around. I mean, the future's bright. I like how he has them playing a completely different style. So I think the future is obviously really bright for Philadelphia with him as the head coach. And he's pretty much pulled all the right strings this year. There's no doubt about it. And I think everybody will say, even if we do lose tonight, that they have
going up, nothing but good things for next year.
They've over exceeded expectations for going into this year. I think if everybody said, hey, you would go to the second round of the playoffs and go 6 games, I think any Flyers fan would have said, well, I'll take it. So, he's done well. We all want to obviously, because we're here and we've seen what they're able to do, would love to get into the conference finals, but you can't complain at the job he's done this year.
Oh, yeah. And like I said, like you brought up a couple shows ago, that's without Patrick, who's probably one of their best kids, still not in the lineup. If you add Patrick on this team in good health, okay, then you add Lindblom, right? There you go. And that's just more for it. Now, granted, finally we had a Claude Giroux signing the last two games or so.
Yep.
But again, I don't expect Giroux to be wearing that C, if even wearing the Flyer jersey next year, because again he's long in the tooth and he's showing his age. I love his experience, but unless he shows something tonight, I think that you probably move on from him. I can see maybe the kid we got from the Rangers that they signed to a big contract, Hayes. I can see Hayes possibly being that C next year in Philadelphia, especially with the money they got tied up with him.
Yeah, and he had a good year. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. I mean, I would think it's between him. I mean, I don't think you put Hart in that yet, just because. Can goalies be captains?
I've never seen.
I thought Billy Smith was.
I was going to say that the last time I've seen a captain was so long ago was in the 70s with Billy Smith, and that's the last time that there was a captain that was a goalie. And again, I think Billy Smith, until Hextall finally did it, was the last goalie to actually score a goal too.
Yeah,
right.
But then what you had, and the one thing I love about, and I'm going to really pull shit out of my ass. You had Billy Smith and Chico Resch as the goalies for the Islanders way back when. That was a hell of a tandem. Well,
that's what Captain, as you know, and my cousin knows his name, but the backup in the system for the Flyers, who I'm assuming is going to be their future backup, unless he's just so talented. Somebody obviously gives them some kind of compensation, and they trade him just because he obviously has the aspirations to be a starting goaltender. Yeah. But I think him and Hart are going to be a great tandem one day. And Coach, that was the guy who tweeted or liked when, because my cousin tagged his name obviously on, I believe it was Twitter, was it, or Instagram? Instagram, right?
Which, by the way, you can always check out any shows on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and obviously YouTube. Like the page. So if you're listening on a podcast, make sure you go and subscribe to the channel as well.
And one thing we haven't brought up either, obviously, is tonight we are 1 week away, and it's almost exactly a week as I guess the game starts, I think, at 8:15 on a Thursday. So we're a week away, and next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday we will talk the divisions in the league each night, obviously. And I guess 2 of the nights we'll have to do 2 divisions, but looking forward to that and talking about all the divisions in the NFL and what we think is going to happen this year. And then obviously me, Coach, and Stiz are going to be doing a show on Sunday morning, and we will let everybody know probably Wednesday or Thursday at what time we're looking at on Sunday.
And what's really hard for that is, and I don't say this because I haven't been keeping up, but because of the situation that we are in pandemically, we were normally more informed, like as of last year, what was going on and all these things that are going on in camp. And this has been just a very weird year.
100%.
When you throw that, we don't know what's really going on in baseball. So they threw us as 60 games. We kind of knew what was going on in basketball and hockey because they were finishing up from the season. And it was just kind of like a little bit of a layoff. But as far as baseball and football this year, Hey, Stiz, I hope, Stiz, you better be subscribed to my channel too, by the way.
I think
Hey,
he is.
Steve, you need to get some more people subscribed to my channel, buddy.
Yeah. Hey, Captain, but you know one thing too. Like I know just locally here, you be getting daily updates. Guys who are blogging at
Yeah.
training camp. This
You
happens.
normally
This
you have
guy looks
reporters
good.
camped out, and I mean,
Yeah, right.
last year I had my weekly spot at Ravens camp. I was there once a week. I was able to get bring some stuff. So, and now I'm out of the loop completely. I mean, I don't even get booed from anybody. So,
different year. And then, granted, I have to see what's going on. Thanks, Stiz. Well, glad to see that, brother. Make sure it's public because you can win that gift card. Because I don't think you want the Marcus Allen helmet unless you do.
And you guys forgot to notice too. Look, he switched back to the "I fuck on the first date" shirt.
yeah, that's right. That's right. It's about time.
I'm giving you a major Ray. That's it. I love that shirt.
I don't know if you guys heard too. It said the Dolphins, which would make sense because you already have two guys, but they're taking trade inquiries for Rosen, and that doesn't surprise me. We've talked about that pretty much all summer.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to see what he will fetch.
Look, they only got didn't they only cost them like a 4th round pick?
I think so.
So I don't see them getting more than a 6 or a 7, honestly, if anything, because he'll probably wind up on the market next week and you can get him for free.
I don't know that they would release him, but I mean, heck, I think if you're a team, why don't you take the flyer on him? One team who if I was, how about the Bills? Josh Allen plays pretty physical. If he were to get hurt, you got Rosen as a backup. I don't know that Miami would trade him within the division, obviously.
Right.
But I don't think that's a bad fit. I mean, maybe, hey, San Francisco. Garoppolo has had injuries before. I just want to see because I think that would be a great system for Rosen. I don't think Garoppolo's
this one out there as well. And even though that Winston is there, the Saints have a very quarterback friendly system.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. This is Drew Brees' last year. Let's just call it what it is. It's his last year. So why not go into next year having 2 quarterbacks to battle it out?
And I got 2 more teams for you. Colts, because then you can back up Rivers, or Pittsburgh for Big Ben. And maybe you get to learn the playbook, and then, maybe you get a shot at being the starting quarterback on one of those teams who I think, once again, both are good situations with good head coaches and good teams around them. Like I said, I'll always be surprised about the Colts. I don't understand Phillip Rivers. I love Frank Reich, and I think Captain or Coach, one of you just said it's being familiar with the playbook, obviously. But, man, I just watching Rivers last year in the AFC West, I think his best days are way behind him. When he feels pressure, he throws that ball up. And, now he didn't have a good line with the Chargers, but still – I think Phillip Rivers, and I love how he played, but I think his days are behind him. I really do.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the Raiders don't get a chance to meet him at least twice a year because he was always good for a pick six or a pick when you needed it. So,
and they gave him $25 million too, which I know it's only 1 year, but still, just.
Well, but see, that's the going rate for a quarterback that's of value. It's overpayment, that granted, but remember, $25 million based upon that's not a bad contract.
I feel like, you know what, man, I think Phillip Rivers would have sat out on the market for a while.
Yeah.
You could have got him for real cheap. You could have taken a flyer on a Winston. I
think Foles, who played for Reich in the Super Bowl when he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, but I don't know that they had the draft capital to trade for him.
Bears gave up nothing for him. I don't think the Bears gave up much to get.
They give up like a 4 or something.
Yeah, but the Colts have a lot of draft capital. I mean, a 4 is nothing. I'll have to look. The guy captain's already on it. I can see it.
I can see he's working it. Let him work the deal. But I agree with that. I think you had said that, and so did Billy about Foles going to Indianapolis.
Right.
You know,
Okay. The Bears traded a fourth round pick to the Jags in exchange for Foles. That's bare minimums. That's not a lot.
Right, because out of the top 100, that's a because that's considered a crapshoot, really.
Right.
So, but we'll see. Because honestly, I don't think Phillip Rivers lasts the full season.
Wow.
And who's the backup there? It's Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, I believe, right?
It's still Brissett, and Brissett's got a lot of upside.
Yeah, he had a nice start, and then I think he got hurt.
And he had a nagging injury, and wasn't Hoyer playing? Wasn't Hoyer the backup in Indiana? It might have been somebody, and it was kind of one of those deals where they started like 6-2 or something. I think, right? Or they did. So they started well, I thought.
Yeah, actually, one of the reasons the Raiders played them early in the season, and they caught the Colts when T.Y. Hilton was injured and the other guy was injured, and Brissett had a bad game, but still, it took a pick six to seal the deal for that game for the Raiders to win. That was the game that the middle linebacker got thrown out for life, basically. The guy that used to play for the Bengals we picked up.
Oh, Vontaze Perfect.
Yeah, and that was stupid. I mean, on everybody. I mean, his hit was nothing, and they said it was beyond what it was. I wouldn't say it was stupid on his part and stupid on the NFL's part, for both purposes. His hit was nothing, but then when he left the field, basically, smiling and waving and that was stupid too. That's one of the reasons why they did it. They have a vendetta.
Wasn't he the guy though too that cost the Bengals the playoff game where they got in the field goal position? I mean, just stuff like that, man. When you're a coach, it's just infuriating.
At that level, I always,
we talked about it yesterday. Situational football.
Right.
Sport,
and you understand, you kind of see that at the high school level, maybe at the college level, but at the pro level, you shouldn't see that. You're a professional, you're getting paid.
Yeah, he was swinging on Joey Porter and the other coaches that had come on for the Steelers in a playoff game, which they had wrapped up, and then it was him and Pac-Man Jones, two of the most stupid malcontents that played defense for the Bengals, gave Pittsburgh, I think, either 30 or 45 yards in penalty yardage at that level because Burfict went and clocked AB, knocked him the fuck out, which was a great hit, but a little bit overbearing. So they had the penalty for that, for unnecessary roughness, defenseless receiver. Then when Porter came on the field, he got flagged for stupidity or whatever the hell the call was, and then Pac-Man was involved in all that shit. So they got at least 30 yards, if not 45, on one play because of what Burfict did.
By the way, it was Jason Dean's birthday last week, and we haven't heard from him since. By the way, I mean,
he might have got it in really well.
In jail somewhere or something,
No, I heard from him a little while ago when I broadcast on Facebook on my persona page because Facebook knocked me out of my profile page. Hey, Bafungu Facebook. There you go. But anyway, Jason Dean was, I was saying he was there, so I know he's alive and well. But I'll ask him and say, hey, man, we don't see anymore over on Muddle. So I'll ask.
One thing I will like to say, though, too, because obviously we will not be on tomorrow. Tomorrow is Stiz's birthday.
Oh,
turning a young 29 years old and looking better than ever. So Stiz's birthday is tomorrow. So shout out to Stiz, happy birthday. And tomorrow's one of his favorite days of the year. He's got his fantasy football draft tomorrow. So good luck with that, Stiz. I hope you're holding the trophy at the end of the year.
Happy birthday, Mr. President Stiz. Happy birthday, President Stiz.
Now, just if you look like Marilyn Monroe.
If I look like Marilyn Monroe, I'd be feeling myself up right now. So there you go. Happy birthday, Stiz. There you go.
He's typing it. There it is. Boom, look at it.
There you go. Happy birthday, Stiz.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's got
Enjoy
his
your
draft.
day tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, he's got his draft Friday and Saturday, and then looking forward to getting him on here with us.
On Sunday, yeah. Big
Yeah,
show.
next Sunday we got a show, yeah. So
This Sunday. What do you mean next Sunday?
And you know what, Stiz? I never answered your question because I know you asked me who do I think has a better year between Ruggs and Edwards. I'm going to say Edwards.
Wow.
I think Edwards is going to have a bigger year, especially with
Terrell.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Ruggs is going to get a lot of yardage, but I think ultimately Edwards is going to wind up as being that T.O. type of guy that gets a big rapport with Carr. And, Ruggs is going to get a lot of double coverage anyway, and I think Edwards will be able to body fight for a lot of the yardage. I might be wrong, but I think Edwards is going to be get more stats.
Well, and everybody talked about the two receivers out of Alabama, obviously. I know Stiz, he likes Judy more, and so do I. I think Judy's the more accomplished receiver between him and Ruggs. I think the Raiders loved the speed factor with Ruggs. I'm not saying Ruggs isn't good, Captain. I'm just saying I think Judy's a little bit more NFL ready right now. I think Ruggs is going to be a good receiver.
Ask how many balls Judy dropped.
Okay.
And how many balls Ruggs dropped in his career at Alabama. Ruggs caught everything. He caught everything. I know that was a stat. Judy actually had a lot more throws to him, and he had good yak. Ruggs has the speed and the hands, and you can't teach either one of those. So,
yeah. But Jerry Judy also.
I beg to differ there, Captain.
You can't teach speed.
You can't teach speed, but you can teach hands.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is teach them both at the same time.
Yeah.
You can't teach speed.
Listen, no, you can't. But if you get a kid with speed, I can teach him to catch.
Right. But what I'm saying, he already has it. You don't need to teach him.
But you said you can't teach either one of those things.
No. I said you can't teach speed and hands.
And one thing I'd say, too, Jerry Judy, last 2 years, over 2,400 yards receiving. Ruggs, 1,400. So I'm not but, Judy's put in the better stats. I think Ruggs might have the higher ceiling, and that's what they're looking at. Yeah. But I think Jerry Judy's probably more NFL ready right now.
Yeah,
and going to get more experiences, too, in Denver because there's not as much talent around as Raiders have other players. Darren Waller, other options.
The one thing I didn't like about Judy, and swear I didn't know this until somebody threw it up to me later on. The guy's wearing a Star of David because he said it's part of his name. It was something that was on like the Dan Patrick show or something like that. I'm like, really? Are you that stupid? Did somebody in your agent say, well, Judy, with the Star of David? I'm like, that's just sheer stupidity on his part. So I didn't know about it until somebody told me about it. I'm like, yeah, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. Now, Judy had a lot of opportunity in Alabama. He was the prime receiver there in Alabama. I think he probably had more attempts thrown at him. So
definitely.
Yeah, and he got a lot of airplay for that offense, and but I think probably what you probably have to do is do simple algebra is how many catches over how many attempts versus the same thing between Ruggs and his attempts and all that other things. See what it comes out to in an algebraic expression. See, I'm teaching school, I guess, while we're here. On the show. So yeah, this is a very informative show. I'm not saying what it is. I'm just saying go back and I'll still take Ruggs. I'll still take Ruggs.
Okay, well, listen to this. Just in breaking news.
Ooh.
The NFL has informed clubs it will provide a loop of pre-recorded crowd noise specific to each team's stadium that must be played over the PA system in empty stadiums and partially filled stadiums at least to start the season at 70 decibels.
Okay.
Starting at kickoff.
Stiz brought up to me last night, And I'm pretty sure Stiz was saying that Jerry Jones got a waiver or something. He's going to have fans in Dallas. I think that's what you said, Stiz. If you're listening, comment if you don't mind.
Yes, that's correct. And because it's percentage too, so you got to remember Jerry's World holds more people than any other stadium.
Yep.
So he's going to have more people because it's broken down by percentage.
Right.
So he's going to have 30 plus people there versus the 20 to plus in other stadiums.
Right. No, you're right about that. But like I said, and we've said all along, I don't think it's fair. I think it should be a uniform decision throughout. Whether I understand states are different, that some states won't allow it. Well, then but at least say, hey, look, we're going to allow 20%, and that's the thing throughout the NFL. And if one team's not allowed because their state's a hot zone or whatever you want to call it, then whatever. But I just think there should be some kind of uniform because no matter what, 20,000 people, there's going to be a difference. Oh, it says, yeah, Goodell met with a committee about that and agreed. Yeah, because people were saying, when did Goodell become a Cowboys fan all of a sudden?
Well, Goodell is always for somebody that's, it's Goodell is always about the establishment.
Well, because they have
Captain.
to vote him in, and when you're making, I think his salary is like $40 million a year.
Oh.
So,
and he knows the juice Jerry Jones has. He's not,
right. Isn't Jerry Jones the head of like the owners associate or whatever? He's like the, I guess you call him the top owner, right? He's
probably
most owners.
Most expensive team is the Cowboys, obviously, and it's like him, Kraft, Lurie. Those kind of guys are really the power brokers for the owners.
I think the word you're looking for is influential.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thanks for the big word there, Captain.
No, I'm sorry. I knew you had it there. I just was figured I'd throw it out there. And while we're there, I'm actually looking for. Unfortunately, they have Judy's stats in a nice little graphic, but they don't have Ruggs's in an average. Things. It's not as clean as the stats that they have for Judy. So I'd really have to do some work. So maybe, and if you guys remind me, maybe I'll do the stuff like they did for with Ruggs into a thing, and we'll go from there. But yeah, we'll see.
Okay. All right. We're a week away. Captain, you want to, everybody takes a break from us and then heads over at 9 p.m. Eastern time to go ahead. That's your cue, Captain.
Yeah, well, make sure you are joining me tonight, Captain Jack Rackham Levy, over on YouTube. It's my normal Thursday night show. You don't know jack about sports. That's on Thursday. Tomorrow, it'll be the Black Shield and Galleon Wheel webcast with Jared Bunch. That's at 9 p.m. as well. Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, back on my YouTube channel again. It'll be a Ask Captain Jack show. And then Monday for Labor Day is a special Labor Day Black Shield and Galleon Wheel webcast 1 hour earlier, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And that's with Bob Grant, the president of the Retired NFL Players Congress, talking about social issues, athletes and decisions, or athletes and basically today's athletes and the choices that they can make about how to do things right, is about the way I'm going to say it. And Bob Grant will discuss that for everybody, and it'll be a great show. So you got Jared on Friday, Bob Grant on Monday. And hey, love hanging out with Coach and Nick and obviously Stiz and the rest, but come on over and watch me as well. And because again, Angela and myself do a show on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I wish I was getting paid for this because I'm on a lot.
You're the hardest working man on the internet.
Yeah.
Jack, man.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Maybe one of these days I can parlay it.
Yep.
Using
Whoa,
one.
big word there, Paul.
There we go.
Yeah.
Double entendre there, Captain.
There you go.
There you go.
So here's some more news coming in with Javon Clowney. Could be even the Titans and the Saints both making a push, trying to get him on the field this weekend.
Wow.
So
I tell you what, with the Saints, with the guy, what's the guy's name on the Saints already? That would be a hell of a rush. I can't remember the guy's name. Cam. Is it Cam?
Oh, Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan.
And Davenport as well, too. He's good.
Yeah. So you had Jadeveon Clowney with Cam Jordan. That's a hell of a pass rush.
And there you go. I could see them making that push because they got to play your buddy Tommy Brady twice a year.
Who?
Yeah, that too.
You keep talking about guys I've never heard of, man.
Yeah.
I guess I better get up on these newfangled players that are on teams.
Yeah. So now I lost my train of thought in that part for the course. Anyway, Nick, hold on.
Hey, it's Nevada Nick. I should have broke your thumb. And if you don't want Gazzo breaking your thumbs, then listen to Nick's Picks exclusively in the Huddle with Coach Muddle.
No, I haven't heard anything on Kamara, Stiz, but we do have a horse race coming this weekend.
We do, and you know what, Coach? It's a little early, so I'm gonna put it up. I got to do a little bit more looking into it, to be honest with you, because like I said, the Tis the Law is a heavy favorite. But I will put something up on my Nevada Nick Facebook page. And as for tonight, as I said, I like Vegas tonight, and then I'm going to give you a basketball tease. I think the Bucks are due tomorrow. I think they win. Take the Bucks, and then I also took them in a tease where you take the Bucks down to 1 with the Lakers from 6 to 2. So that's Bucks straight, and then Bucks Lakers tease tomorrow night. And then also, obviously, Vegas tonight, and I will, give out my Kentucky Derby pick on Saturday through Nevada Nick. Just a little bit too early. Want to look into these horses and talk to some of my other degenerate gambler friends and see what they think.
Yeah, I think one year we had weren't you coming to us from like the bushes of Churchill Downs?
Yes, I was, okay, and it was wasn't easy fitting me in those bushes either. And let's not forget the Kentucky Derby. I won too, but my horse got disqualified.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that was such horse shit, man.
Yeah, it was.
That was horse shit. Pun intended, I think, too.
Yeah. Oh.
And why did they say because he got in front of somebody's path? Bullshit.
Yeah, he ran, cut somebody off or something.
Yeah, hey, they
Rubbin's racing. It's like NASCAR, man. Rubbin's racing, man.
Exactly.
100%.
Fuck you. Cutting somebody off. They haven't been in traffic in the Northeast or California. Cutting somebody off is illegal. Screw you.
So, all right, good stuff, everyone. Remember 9:00. Jump over and check out Captain Jack tonight. Sunday, our special draft show with the great birthday boy Stiz. Hopefully, won't get too sloshed and have to spend the weekend in the local lockup, and we'll be able to make the show.
I was with Trixie. You can't prove I did any of that shit because you got it on video. And if you do have video, then it was altered. Excuse me, I gotta go throw up.
So make sure you check all that out. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out the podcast, subscribe to the page, and like our Facebook page as well. But just remember, type in Coach Muddle, any social media platform I pop up, and be part of the show. So we'll see everybody on Sunday. So be good, and thanks for watching.